Okay. I'm going to work on a straight razor now. Set a bevel using my 1000 grit Shapton Glass Stone. This is an older Torray, nearly a full wedge. First thing I do is, when I'm setting a bevel, is I always tape. There's a lot of controversy about that, back and forth. When I'm doing heavy grinding, I use tape. And once I got that bevel fixed, the edge fixed, I take the tape off, do a few more to flatten that out, and then from then on I don't use tape. This one's got a couple little microchips and some definitely uneven bevel marks, which I don't know why it's there, but I'm thinking that the blade is ever so slightly warped. It's got a little bit of a wide spot here, two very small wide spots here where it's thinner here, so I'm thinking that this is ever so slightly warped this way. But since it's already been ground on, I'm just pretty much going to follow that. I don't reprofile blades as much as I probably should, but this is going to be my own razor, so I'm not too worried about it. I use a General X pattern. And so far it's feeling pretty good. I'm not a fast worker, so this is how fast I go, how fast I'm happy with. I usually do a few strokes until it feels like it's consistent, and then I look at it through my eyeballs here, which you may or may not be able to see here in a second. Wipe the edge off. See, I have these little thingies on. Bevel. And I can feel that middle part actually touching now. Kind of weird doing this on the bench, my makeshift bench here. I'm used to doing razors in my hand, holding the stones. But it's really hard to do a video that way. Okay. Again, we look at it, see where we are. I'm doing a kind of rolling X. Just to see if the grind pattern shows up differently. Because sometimes when you're setting a bevel, the straight approach doesn't always work. So you do a few grinds at a slight angle and check the scratch patterns. Normally when I have a less than typical edge, I use a thinner stone this way. Narrower stone, however you want to call it. And it really works for me. But when you're set, I don't have that much of a thinner bevel setter at the moment. Now, I am not the top sharpener out there. I'm not even in the upper categories, I don't believe. I didn't follow any one style. I literally started sharpening straight razors based on kitchen knives, and played with the formations of it until I found a system that worked for me. And one thing that does is means I don't conform to many standard practices. So sometimes people go, you can't do it that way. Like, yeah, well, it's working for me. And no, I am not one that has to have symmetry in every aspect of it. I'm more of an organic feel to it. So if it has an edge that is funny, warped, smile, heavier grinds and spots, just the way that razor is. I'll leave the perfect symmetry to those that enjoy that, and I'll keep doing my own blades the way I like them. Sometimes it takes longer. Every so often you come across one, it's just like you just want to shoot it. But in the long run, it's all about the shave. And if the shave works, then everything's good. And once you set this bevel and understand the razor itself, maintenance is not that hard. You know, most of your work needs to be done right here. If that bevel is not set properly here, it matters not where it goes from here. It will not shave well. So I guess one of the things I want you to pick up from this is the fundamentals of flat stone, finding consistency that works for you. Find the angles, the pressures. You don't want a lot of pressure. You find the system that works for you so you're most consistent. And when honing, there's a lot to be said about consistency. Now watch, I'm going to go online, come up with some questions and stuff that I never even thought to bring up here. But luckily, I've got a box full of razors that need to be honed, so I can do individual segments as I come across them. I'm definitely having one hell of a time with this one spot. I'm half tempted to put my finger on it. I'm also looking at the grind through the reflection. What is the steel doing? You can kind of tell where there's going to be some warps or thick spots or inconsistencies in how the blade is made, because some of these older ones are not that consistently ground. Torrays are usually pretty good. This one's relatively consistent, but I can see a slight warble in the reflection, and it's right where I'm having a problem. So this will take a bit longer, but I'm going to actually take this to a narrower stone. Until I can figure it out. Counting the strokes per side, again, has to do with consistency. So it's barely touching from here to here, but I've got big contacts here and here, and you can see here hardly.